Last year's release of the city's strategic action plan on homelessness told us much about what we already knew about our homeless system. But it did further our understanding and helped us define metrics and timelines which we need to gain our progress as we were helping individuals get off the streets and into that permanent spot of their own. But we've long recognized that we need outreach teams that consist of personnel outside of law enforcement. So tomorrow at City Council, we have the opportunity to approve the recommendation of PATH to provide these critical outreach services. And I will tell you, I think PATH is exactly the right provider to provide this role. They have decades of experience in creating connections, building relationships with those that they serve with one goal. How do we produce a positive outcome? How do we help people get off the street, not just for a day, not just for a week, but for good?
The system that we have is not approachable to all our residents. And if we are really serious about really trying to resolve this issue, we need to increase the approach in which who is reaching out to the community to ensure that they're getting placed and they're getting the support that they need. I work closely with Councilmember Ward to create a pilot in the Mid-City area, a pilot that we were able to partner with PATH, some funding from private money, some funding from the city and the county. And this pilot was focused here, as well as in Hillcrest. And we have found that that pilot that we were able to couple together some resources to hire PATH has been very successful. And ever since we found out that it actually works, because it's the way that it works, and you'll hear more about it, is that it's a social worker interacting with the community, developing the relationships. They're coming day after day after day to the same location, and they're developing that relationship, that trust, and that's been successful.
As chair of the Public Safety and Livable Neighborhoods Committee, I advocated, and we advocated together, for this $1.5 million for a more strategic and holistic approach to outreach. From the beginning of my administration, one of my pillars of governance has been advocating for safe and healthy communities, which includes proactive contact with the unsheltered to provide services, meet their basic needs, and provide immediate intervention. Our unsheltered constituents need the multidisciplinary teams of this program. The peer support specialists, the outreach specialists trained in street-based case management and clinical level staff to address their needs, emphasizing transitions from homelessness directly to safe, stable housing opportunities. We must address the gaps in the existing system and deploy outreach resources in alignment with the goals of the city's Community Action Plan on homelessness.
Last year, my office worked together with Council President and PATH to launch the pilot program here in the Mid-City area, covering City Heights and North Park, in conjunction with North Park Main Street and the City Heights CDC and several other philanthropists. And I want to welcome also Jessie. It's good to see you again, who's been on the front lines doing the work, meeting people on the streets, understanding who they are, and connecting them to the critical resources that start their paths to recovery. Now let's talk about what Jessie and his team of two have been able to do. In the last 16 or so months, they've been able to reach and by name identify 200 individuals who are stuck, who don't know their pathways forward, who are looking for that outreach, who are looking to be able to have somebody gain their trust and make sure that they can get onto their own individual pathways of success. And he's been able to help house nearly 60 individuals and is continuing to work with everybody else as a client to make sure that when those units become available, that they are also put into those pipelines.
This type of outreach is a crucial first step for these individuals and families. It helps them begin their path off the streets and into permanent or longer-term housing. Tomorrow, the San Diego Housing Commission will be presenting this new coordinated street outreach program to the San Diego City Council. This program will include a new rapid response team. The team will help to meet basic needs while also providing immediate problem-solving resources. In addition, a mobile homelessness response team will be an important part of this program. This team will focus on some of the city's most vulnerable unsheltered population. They will provide street-based case management and help to overcome barriers to obtaining housing. This program will advance the objectives of the city's Community Action Plan on Homelessness. This action plan identified the creation of a coordinated outreach framework as a key item for consideration as we approach this problem.
My certain position of what I was helping out with was building a relationship with the community, especially the people experiencing homelessness. I was really person-centered, and I showed my compassion and tried to understand the issues that they were going through at an individual level and the common level as well. I was able to break down certain barriers and walls that people were going through. And I tried to my best to understand what was going on with their situation. So I just actually want to introduce two of my previous clients. It's a couple. They're experiencing homelessness for 8 years in North Park. It actually took 6 to 7 months for me to gain their trust. In the very beginning, they did not trust me. They didn't know who I was. But through that consistent engagement with them, I was able to have a conversation with them. They understood that I was being real with them and trying to help out their situation, mainly. As soon as they gained that trust with me, I learned their issues, and I removed those walls. I removed the barriers, and I opened up doors. And one particular door that they went through is a place that they call home.
This new program with this new people, if Jessie's the model for these people, it's going to be a success. It's going to be a explosive success. Get all these cats off the street that perhaps some of them don't need to be on the street. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'll tell you what, we were out there for a long time, and we're not bad people. We fell into some circumstances, and certainly it was our fault, at least part of it, right? Of course. Well, we wake up every day now, and it's like, oh my God, baby, we got a house. We got a house, you know. I think I'll go cook breakfast, you know, maybe I'll go take a shower. It's beautiful, it's wonderful. We can't believe it. We're thrilled every day. Every day we're thrilled, and we give thanks to the programs that got this going, and Jessie, Angeles, and Path, and San Diego Housing Commission.